What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing well. Man, look at that beautiful scenery. Just nice and crisp in that. Man, it looks like 720p. National Park. We back trying to gain some positions out here. You know how we do it. What? Oh, wrong control. My bad. I was like so confused. I was like, why is this thing not going? It looks like we got no slipstream, so that's... I actually didn't know slipstream was only available in certain stages. Or that could be a glitch in my game, who knows? Man, that Lotus, man, that Exige going crazy, what the... Did it Exige? Wow. Oh! Speaking of the Exige, I just... crashed into that man hard and now he's wingless. The Exige has pretty much turned into an Elise. Wow. Nah, bro. That man did Lotus on Lotus Crime and he's going crazy. Alright, we made a pass on him. Ironically, that's considered a clean pass. Get out of here. Oh no, wait, hold up. Nah, bro. Lotus is not over with me yet. Bro is like, nah. We are still fighting out here. Looks like he might be in debt with the mob as well. Gotta get out of the way. We're gonna take this shortcut, see how things go. Nice, we got a little clean pass, but man, what is going on with the dirt? Is it supposed to be like this? It looks like the car is like smoking. But we are on edge. And the funny thing is, man, I feel like I'm in control, but I have no control. Like, I was like, I'm looking at the edge, and I'm like, wow, I am about to fall off. But then, I'm actually, when I'm driving the car, I feel like I'm not on rails. But the environment makes me feel like I'm on rails. That's very cool. I actually never felt that way in a game before. In a racing game, that is. Just like that, knocked out the competition. Lotus gave me a little bit of trouble, but it was honestly whatever. We're now 187. On to the next round. Got 2,800 miles-ish left. I'm gonna make up time. Seems like that's what it's gonna be going on, right? Gaining opponents, making up time. I guess if there's a race like this that were to exist, it's pretty realistic. Now looking at the map, I noticed that the little spots, I guess, where the run is at, the Midwest is not at all covered. It's like there's a huge gap between, I'm guessing, Las Vegas all the way to Chicago. I think so on the map, but yeah, man, it's really unfortunate that there just wasn't more locations, because this is a race across America, you know? America, you know, as an American and as a person who has visited both the West Coast and is on the East Coast, it is so different. Last year, I went to the West Coast. I was around areas like Nevada and such, and I was just like, wow, this is the same country compared to where I was living. It was just insane. So it just really sucks that the devs just didn't have the time to really fully flesh out a map. And honestly, having a multiplayer race in which you literally race across America, that would be so fun. I used to do that on the crew with one of my friends. Man, bro and I went wild. That's all we used to do too at the end. Once we were done with, you know, the story, you did a couple multiplayer races. It was just fun to just drive around because it's pretty much the map of the US, so it's massive and you can just go anywhere and it's so unpredictable. Some areas are snowy, some areas are sunny, you can go off-road, and the run being released a few years before the crew one, technically there could have been a possibility for that, you know? I don't mind it not being free roam. However, if you're not gonna make it free roam, there should have been a lot more levels. Yes, sir. Man, that Porsche is looking real low. Gotta gain some more positions now. Alright. Show me what y'all got. Again, no slipstream. That's pretty odd. We got a Camaro over here. Boss 302. We got some gas station coming up. I'm actually gonna go switch out the car just so we can get some more variety going on in this Let's Play. Let's see what we can get. We can get an M3 GTS, a GTR, Boss 302, 911. Wow, all these cars actually look really cool. I am gonna just go with what I would have gotten if I had played the game for the first time back in 2011. That would probably be this GTR. Alright, we're selecting that. Oh, there's also these kits too. This is crazy because there's all these parts, and if you see some of these parts, they are from other Need for Speed games. You know, the fact that they're from other Need for Speed games, it would have been so cool to have them all customized. Especially at a time where this is essentially when Need for Speed started to lack customization till 2015, and people complained about it, so those racer packs were just not good enough. Alright, we are in the GTR. It feels about the same to the Porsche, except I'm not sure if drivetrains actually matter in this game, or it's just a placebo effect. But when I'm taking these turns, it doesn't feel so oversteery. Again, that might be probably due to the weight of the car. Who knows? This GTR though feels good. I actually do like this car. Let's get in there, getting these turns. Look at that bus. You gotta get out of the way for him. Alright, we are very close to finishing this up. So let's go. Let's finish up. No way. No way. Bruh. Nah, that's black box. That's a black box for banding at its finest. What on earth was that? No way, dog. Well, yeah, forget about the GTR. I finished the race up with the Porsche because I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna let that RX-7 take me out again. Yeah, no. Who we got here? We got good old Marcus. Mr. MB1. Marcus is going crazy out there. With the 177 that I don't know why they put those wheels on that car, because it just does not look great in my opinion. Are there still 77 Aston Martin 177s out there? I think one may have crashed out and only 76 or 75. I'm not too sure about that. However, I do hope that all 77 are still around. And it's crazy to see how the influence of that car is felt in Aston's design language. Because if you look at the Vanquish, when I saw that new Vanquish, it looked very similar. It reminded me of the 177. So it's really cool to see how cars, limited edition cars like this, or concepts that were made quite a while ago, have influence now. Because essentially they thought that design was good for 10 years later and used parts of it to create what is now the Vanquish. Generally though, Astons are pretty good looking cars, no matter what era they're from. Even the ones from the 2000s, I'd say they're pretty timeless because of the fact that they don't have any crazy lines going on. So if you ever see one, the thing is they're not flamboyant, so they're not gonna be as eye-popping as a Lambo. However, they're always gonna look nice and clean and relatively modern. Continuing on, still in California. What is he gonna do, Marcus? Man, Marcus is a classic world player. This is at the time when Need for Speed World was still popping. Yeah, the devs were just like, yeah, let us imitate a 911 GT3 RS rammer. Catch your opponent. Oh, so we finally got a new type of mode, which is, I guess, duels, which is pretty much just a checkpoint and pass mode combined into one. For the most part, the opponents, they serve as checkpoints. They're not really actual competition. Oh, do not do that 911. Do not do that to me. That could end up real bad. So I'm wondering if the GTR would have done the same thing. Opponent has been defeated, but we are still a ways from our checkpoint. Alright, let's go. That car just spawned in right there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't think that was supposed to happen. We'll see in a Miata. Come on. We had 911. Although in these turns, Miata would probably do pretty well on its own. One thing I do gotta say with the run is that there is really no car progression in a way. Like, technically, yeah, you do go from a slower car to a faster car, but all the cars you use are all tier 4, if I'm not mistaken, tier 4 and tier 5. And really, especially for Jack, a guy who's in debt, how does he have all these cars at the beginning? You know, it makes no sense whatsoever. It would have been cool, since Jack was in debt, if you had to use one of the tier 1 cars, and let's say if they did actually plan on having on-foot sequences, I mean, because you can't really afford anything, so either wins cars on pink slips, or he steals them. So you can, and during a certain part of a mission, you have to get out of the car, and you just steal someone's car. The funny thing is, in the Wii version, technically, that's how it happened. In Matt was straight up just like, oh yeah, we found a car on the side of the road, so let's just take it, you know? Which is pretty ridiculous in itself. However, it would have been cool, and we were going to use a shortcut. Man thought we were going to have like a tight battle or something like that. Absolutely not. I am just going to go fly away with this. Yeah, that man is not touching me no more. But it would be really cool if we were able to use tiers 1 to tier 3, because to be fair, after story mode, not many people, I assume, would probably want to play this game. So having to use all the cars in a longer run mode would have been amazing. And this game had such a great base. They just need to build upon it. Anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a good one, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.